Years ago, I discovered something that made a big difference in my life. And sometimes we all have this eureka moment of we've been doing things in a certain way, we're not getting results, and all of a sudden, we figure out something and we find something out and it makes us the world of difference. Today, I want to talk to you about the 4 stages of entrepreneurship growth process. When it comes to business, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 stages. Let me know if you can see my board. 4 stages and 4 stages of entrepreneurial growth process. I know you know someone who works really hard, and this person has been working hard all their life, but they don't really have a lot to show for it. That person is usually stuck in a manpower stage, meaning that they are selling their time and energy for money. In the past, I used to think that as long as you have a business, it's enough, but I quickly came to learn that it's not the business that you have, it's the type of business that you have that can make all the difference. So manpower can be an example. Let me give an example. Let's talk about someone who's a gardener, right? And all they do is they'll show up in your house and they'll cut their grass and they'll pack the grass and they'll trim the edges and they'll do all these different things. It's fine to be able to start that way, but when you don't understand that when you are stuck, where's my finger? When you are stuck on the manpower level, it's very difficult to scale because the resource you're exchanging for money is time and energy. Time and energy is a limited resource. It's very limited. So if you're a graphic designer, if you're even computer programmer, if you're somebody who is just maybe making clothes yourself, this stage would make you stuck for a long time, because if you don't go beyond this stage, what usually happens is that you'll be stuck for a very long time. And then the next stage that I learned that helped me to be able to get to the next level is management. Meaning that if you read the word of God, right, it says 1 will chase 1,000 and 2 will chase 10,000. It's very true. When people come together, they are able to do way much more than one person would do by themselves. So if you even notice in a 9 to 5, when somebody is a manager, they usually are more paid than somebody who is just manpower, meaning that somebody who is just selling their time and energy for money. No, now the management level, let's say the same example for somebody who does landscaping, a gardener, etc., a dressmaker. Your goal is to be able to find other people who are doing this thing and bring them under an umbrella so you can manage them, because your limited resource, the time, is not something that you can scale. So the only way to grow is for you to be able to leverage other people's time and energy. This is the reason why you will see that people who have a few people who they manage, or people who are able to bring people together, they end up making more than somebody who is in the manpower stage, meaning that a solopreneur doing everything by themselves, selling their time and their energy for money. The level above this, level 3, is media. And media is something like what we are doing here. What media does is it makes you ubiquitous, meaning that I can be here in Virginia in my home office and somebody is watching me all the way in Ghana. I can be here and somebody is watching me from, let's say, South Africa, from Canada, from any part of the world. So the beautiful thing about media is it helps you to be at many places at the same time. So if you watch a lot of the new wealth that's being created, whether it's Oprah Winfrey, whether it's the Kardashians, all these different people have been able to leverage media. So Oprah did it with TV media, Dwayne Johnson and Kim Kardashian and her sisters, they did it with social media. You can actually do it with book media. You can do it with a movie. You can do it with a song. The thing is, once you create something once, you are able to sell it over and over and over again. Listen to what I'm saying. This is very important, and this is the unlock for me. When you spend all your time just doing tasks like cutting grass, or you're doing graphic design, or you're programming, you are selling a limited resource, that is time and energy. You cannot scale time and energy like the way you can scale media. Meaning that anybody who is leveraging media, it can be a song, it can be a movie, it can be a book, it can be a post, it can be social media, it can be a course, meaning that they create something one time and they're able to make money from it over and over and over again. So when you're thinking about your business, I want you to start thinking this way. Let me give an example for me. I wrote a book called 100K Secret. It's a media product, meaning that this, just before I jump on this live, I got a message from Amazon saying that, hey, this is the royalties we are paying you for this month because of the people who have purchased your stuff. So So I'm saying this to tell you that any single time you're looking to scale is almost impossible when you solely focus on you want to do stuff on the manpower stage. You're looking to do stuff on just management stage, because these two, they are finite resources. Even though when you do stuff in management, you are bringing people together, it's very difficult to scale it. But when you do stuff using media, meaning that you create a piece of content, you are educating somebody about something, what usually happens is that the chances of multiple people consuming it, it's not compared to the management level and the manpower level. So let me quickly go to the fourth level. And the fourth level is mastery. Don't worry if you can't read my handwriting myself. I can read it sometimes. The fourth level is mastery. Mastery meaning that you as a person, if you don't get good at what you do, it'll be difficult for you to be able to scale it up. I used to think that the harder I work, the more money I'll make. I learned it wasn't true. You quickly learn, look, we have 24 hours in a day. You can work so hard on the wrong thing and it wouldn't matter. So it's not like, oh, how much hours or how much time. Hard work has its place. Working smart has its place. But what I'm talking about here is you becoming the master of your craft and getting very good at what you do, so you can take an 80% share of your industry. If you look at people who are fashion designers, people who are authors, people who are musicians, most of those people who are at the top, they take about 80% of all the money in that industry. And the reason I'm saying mastery is every single person was born with something. There's no one human being that was not born with a competitive advantage. Everybody has one. And your goal is figure out your competitive advantage and find out how you can leverage it to be able to get you to the place you want to get to quicker. So I'm sharing this because me in the past, I used to think that, oh, as soon as you just get a business and you get some cash flow and you become profitable and you're just doing it, you just get, really big. It's not true. Some people have competitive advantages, and just imagine like me, if I want to sing, maybe I don't have the voice. Maybe like I want to play basketball. I'm not LeBron James. So every single person, you have a competitive advantage. Your goal is once you get to mastery, and it takes a long time to get to mastery, so don't be the type of person that you're too hard on yourself. Once you get to mastery, your goal is leverage media, leverage management, and leverage manpower. That is the game. The game is to leverage media, meaning that if you have a phone and you have a Wi-Fi and you're just scrolling and you're not posting and you want money from your business, it's on you. Because there are certain people, they can choose not to post, but they can run ads, they can do certain things to be able to get the word out for them, their business. So if you don't have that leverage, you need to put in the reps. So find something that you're actually good at. And I can do another video talking about this, how to find your profitable passion. Find something that it feels like play to you, but feels like work to other people. Find out what it is and use that to be able to better yourself and better your life. Don't get stuck at this manpower level. Don't remain stuck here. This is where a lot of people, like, dreams die. A lot of businesses don't scale. This is the point, manpower. Once you figure out how to manage other people and you're able to distribute with media, the next goal is to get really good at what you're doing. And once you get good at what you're doing, you can scale back down using the 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the board is getting messy now. You can use the 4-step, meaning you can use manpower, other people's manpower. You can use other people, you can manage other people, you can use media. And once you're good at what you're doing, the chances of you actually being able to scale and grow becomes much more easier. So these are the 4 stages of entrepreneurship growth process. And this is my quick video. Did anybody get any value from this? Anybody, did you get some value from this? The 4 steps of your entrepreneurship growth process. When I learned this, every day when I wake up, I stop spending time on things that don't move the needle. I stop spending time on things that don't move the needle, because you quickly realize that there are many things to do in a day and some things just don't move the needle. Some things it's like if you're somebody who, let's say you're a gardener or you're a graphic designer, and all you do is spend your time and energy on manpower stage, what usually happens is you be trying to catch your tail for years and not make any reasonable progress. My whole goal of doing this whole week, I told myself that I was going to do a live, and life gets in the way. And I was like, man, a whole week came to pass and I didn't create any content. I'm slacking. We should never get that comfortable thinking that things are going well, so we don't do the things we are supposed to do. It's not good. So this is me trying to hold myself accountable. If you are looking for means and ways in order for you to execute this right and do it well, I have a book called 100K Secrets. You can click on my link in my bio. You can get a free sample. Why do I give out free samples? Every now and then people would ask me questions. And for me, how do I know when somebody's serious? Because sometimes some people try and waste your time. How you know is when somebody actually takes a step. It's like, okay, I watched your video. I actually read like a few pages of the book and I have a question. That tells me that the person is actually serious and it's not somebody who is just curious. There's a big difference between people who are serious and people who are just curious. So if you want to be able to stand out from the crowd, you don't want to be one of those people who are just curious and just, listen to something, you get some value and move on. Let the next action step be you do something about the information you got. Okay. If someone is still in the manpower stage and doesn't have money for ads or a team, what should they focus on? That is such a great question, Tiara. Thank you for asking. So if you're in a manpower stage and you don't have money for ads and you don't have a team, I recommend you should create a digital product. A digital product is something that can sit on the internet that can make you money in your sleep. Meaning, whether you want to create like a class about something and sell, you want to create a course, you want to write a book, you want to create music, whatever it is. The beautiful thing about digital products is it sits on the internet, so you don't have to continuously sit around it to convince people and all that stuff. So if you can consolidate your knowledge, figure out the things you're good at, and create, it can be even a PDF, create a digital product, have a low ticket on it to sell. The whole goal of selling low ticket digital product is not to turn you into a multimillionaire overnight, is to collect leads from qualified people who are actually serious. So I forgot the business you say you're in, but I will create a digital product and I'll use that as a lead magnet to start a conversation. So let's say you're in the interior decoration space. You can do the biggest mistakes people make when they try to decorate their house. You can put a PDF and write something like do some research and write how people waste money trying to do these things themselves and how people get ripped off and market the hell out of it. What you want to do is you want people to know that this is what you do, number one, and let people who are serious have an easy next step they can take when they are not ready to be able to patronize your big ticket services. Okay. There's another question. What is the biggest mistake people make when they try to leverage media for their business? I can tell you from personal experience on what I see. The biggest mistake I see is when somebody sees that somebody else is making money, they want to do exactly what that person is doing. But we are all wired very different. All of us, we are wired different. So let's say you are doing some content around, let's say, smart devices, smartphones, right? Just because your content is blowing up and you are doing very well, all of a sudden everybody starts to copy you, but they don't realize that you probably have been in this industry for the last 20 years and it gives you a competitive advantage. So every single person has a competitive advantage. Figure out what yours is. Every single person has one. The thing is, if you just look at what is working and you copy, what usually happens is you get exhausted very quickly because every work is hard. What people don't say is everything that you're looking to do, there's work involved. Most of the time, we don't talk about the work side, but there's work involved. So if you're just looking at the money aspect and it's like, I'm going to make a lot of money from doing this, let me just do the same thing. But you're going to be burned out very quickly because you are not built like that. So find things that feel like play to you that other people consider work. Find things that feel like play to you that other people consider work and do it. Some of you are very good at dressing up. It doesn't take you a lot of effort for you to be able to put some clothes together, for you to look good. Some people are very good at speaking. Some people are athletic. Whatever your competitive advantage is, if you don't know it, ask your closest allies and friends. Or if you even download the free sample of 100K Secrets, it's going to teach you how to find your profitable purpose. So it's going to show you exactly like what are your skills, what are your proficiencies, what problems can you solve, and it's going to help you to be able to find it. That's my answer. That's my long-winded answer for your very short question. One more question, sure. Please go ahead. I think if it was TikTok, Tiara, like you won. I'm on. One woman army, sorry. Hey Nelly. Anyways, so if anybody on here is a business owner, or you have an online business, or you are looking to be able to do some stuff online, and you have anything to ask or something to even contribute, feel free. This is for everybody. Feel free, just drop it in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's chit chat about it. Okay. I think the third question from Tiara is, how do you validate what kind of digital products will people actually pay for before creating it? Tiara, you're asking some very good questions. These are good questions. So how can we validate if the product is good or not? You do something called a pre-sale. I had a whole video about it. Pre-sale. So how do you do a pre-sale? You reach out to your inner circles and you reach out to total strangers. I have a whole process. Find 50 people, a Zoom call with them or a phone call. A certain girl in Tulsa, Oklahoma, what's her name? She just reached out to me 3 days ago. She did the same thing to me. She's working on an app, and the app she's working on, she wants to do market research to see that if she creates an app that solves XYZ problem, I don't want to give that app away. Am I interested to download the app, and will I be interested to use it and share? This is market research. So rather than you sitting in a vacuum thinking that, oh, I have an amazing idea, I want to do XYZ, you want to be able to reach out to people. It's like, there's this problem, or figure out people who have that problem. Like Zoom, do a phone call with them and ask them. Let me tell you my little secret. My book, 100K Secrets, before it was created, I pre-sold it. I came on social media, I held up a book like this with a wrapper around it, and I told people I'm writing a book, and they can go and pre-order the book. And the book was not written because for me, I wanted to see whether people were interested. Guess what? I had hundreds of pre-orders, and I took that money in order to be able to write the book. So pre-sell, pre-create the thing, and you can sell it later on. So Tiara, you can find means and ways to pre-sell your product or service. And this is going to help you to be able to figure out people who are serious and not people who are just curious.